Good morning, mate. How you getting on? Monday, get up, get it attacked. Let's try and start on a good foot. It ended on a bad one, didn't it? United. Let's try and get some wins in, seeing as though our team's probably not going to be getting too many of those wins in. Right, what we're talking about today then. We're talking about the end, boys and girls. The end of Ruben Amorim at Manchester United. Now, as expected, yesterday and this morning, the press, the newspapers, the blogs, the telly, it's all full of the speculation. Ruben Amorim will go, and when he will go. And there's some people suggesting that actually INEOS are going to be patient, they're going to give him until the end of the season, which honestly, I'm not sure they will. I'm really not sure that they will do that. There's also other people speculating that the 1st of November is the day that he goes, or at least is the first day that he could go, because of the compensation change that happens. If he was fired in the first 12 months, he's due 12 million. It drops after that. I'm not actually sure what it drops to be honest with you, but it drops after that. Significantly less after the 1st of November. And I think the 1st of November is actually when it's going to happen. I think the talk to the contrary might actually be coming from INEOS, but I think it's a smokescreen. And I'll tell you why I think the 1st of November makes a lot of sense. Financially, the club requires all the money it can get. You don't want to waste that money over a few weeks if you can help it, I believe. That's the first reason. The second reason is it gives them 4 or 5 weeks now to start quietly interviewing and coming up with a shortlist and quietly approaching those people, which may or may not have already happened. The idea of Gareth Southgate as Manchester United manager absolutely makes me want to throw up in my mouth, I'll be honest with you. Really not looking forward to that. I think the first video I do after this today is looking at the 5 probable candidates, I think. Because I think that there's 5 names that have been sort of floated around. Southgate, Iraola, Glasner, Xavi, Iraola. That's the 5. So I'm probably going to do a video on that as soon as I get in the office, actually. Plan this morning is into the gym, nice and early. And do you know what? I'm debating. Look, Joe, show you how short the shorts are. Well, the gimbal sort of tracking on this thing don't let you turn it round. Basically, we're wearing whatever, you're not asked. I'm wearing short shorts. As you can see my breath. I've only done this walk into the gym malarkey since summer. I was trying to get extra steps in. Normally I drive. Then I thought, why am I driving? I'm doing cardio. Any extra cardio is good cardio, right? So I started walking, but I only started doing it in the summer. It's gonna fucking suck when there's snow on the ground, isn't it? Or I'm gonna have to start thinking about bringing a bigger bag, showering and changing at the gym. But that's a thought for another day. Anyway, the 5 candidates. So I think it gives them time to quietly talk, evaluate, interview, take presentations, etc. You've got the post-Liverpool thing, which seems to be it's certainly a nail in the coffin of every manager that we've had post-Sir Alex. You get a shagging off Liverpool and then basically the end is nigh, innit? That's literally happened with every single one of the post-Fergie managers, and there's been some absolute shaggings as well, hasn't there? Some proper fucking roddings. You've got the international break, which always seems to be hanging over any manager that's not doing well, like the angel of death. And I just think all of those stars aligning, plus the fact he's probably got to near enough 38 Premier League games by then. And I think it's the end. Now, as you know, and if you don't know, now you know, I try to be balanced. I try to use logic and ding it, and I try not to be reactionary. Sometimes I am, because I'm fucking human, right? I try not to be reactionary, and I try to look at things from multiple angles. So there's some video titles rolling around my head for this week, one of which is 5 reasons to keep hammering. 5 things he's got right. One of them is 5 reasons it's over. One of them is 5 things he could do to save his job. Like, I was sitting there last night planning the whole week worth of content. I am going to look at Darren Fletcher this week. Not necessarily for manager, but I think there's half a chance he becomes interim. I think there's a ton of different reasons and a ton of different things to look at this week. Unfortunately, it's all manager based. I'd love to be looking at Sesko and Bumo, Cunha, them as a trio, Bruno from a tactical point of view. But I'll be honest with you, the desire's not there for that. We've got to fix what's going on with the gaffer, and I know De Ligt spoke about it this weekend, and he said everyone always looks to the manager, and they do. And you know, I've said this many a time, and I'll continue to say it. People absolutely overestimate the job of a manager. People absolutely overestimate the impact a manager has. But I do think in this instance, it's valid. And I do think in this instance, the manager that we have got is not doing himself any favours. And I read the comments. I try to reply to the comments, but there was like 1,800 comments on the post-match one. It's not a fucking chance I'm replying to all of those. But I do try and reply to the comments, especially if you say good morning. So, good morning. Because this video, at least, is a nice little bit of positivity, or it tries to be at least. I mean, the subject matter the last 3 or 4 days hasn't been that, but for obvious reasons, isn't it? Outside of that, you know, I actually do care about how this community is getting on. So if you're doing something today, good luck. You know, there's people spoken about their health pursuits, their illnesses, all sorts of stuff in this particular series that we're doing, this morning video. And I want to continue that. So even if this is a bit of an on-the-nose topic today rather than a little bit more long-winded, please continue with your wins and what you're getting up to. And say good morning. Yeah, I do think that there's... someone said this is the first time, or the earliest I've seen Steve turn on a manager. Well, I have been doing content since the Moyes era. I was writing, I was doing blogs under Sir Alex. It'd been so nice to be able to look back on us winning the league and the content that we did during that time. Alas, we don't got it. I've only done it 10 fucking years. Actually, it's longer and it's more like 12, but whatever. Anyway, I did see a comment saying it's the earliest I've seen Steve turn on a manager. Well, let's roll it back, shall we? David Moyes. The Olympiacos game in Piraeus was when I went, no. This ain't right. And that was about 2 weeks, I think, before he went. Maybe 3. Then we had Louis. And I never really turned on Louis at all, to be honest, because I thought, what was going right and wrong with Louis? We won a trophy. Obviously, he didn't qualify for the Champions League, but we won a trophy. We were playing an ungodly amount of youngsters, like an insane amount of youngsters. We were winning in the big games. And where was it going wrong? Well, we weren't quite as effective against the teams that we probably should have been better at. And I thought that was the sort of thing that you give time to. You go, no, I can see like what he's trying to do here. And even if it ain't working at the moment, I mean, it wasn't working. We didn't really have the creativity. But then look who we signed the summer he went. Zlatan, Pogba, Mkhitaryan. Like, we was always going to be a little bit more creative once those players came in and embedded in. So it was kind of like, if anyone was going to get more time, probably Louis, right? Why did Louis go? Well, probably because Jose was available. Jose took me a long time to warm up to because I never wanted us to become the sort of club that just rinses and repeats and sacks managers, which, by the way, we've became. And Jose was moderately successful. We had 4-0 FC, which was fun for a minute. But when it becomes toxic with Jose, it becomes really toxic, really fast. And Jose's no longer the sort of charismatic winner that he was when he first arrived in England. And he certainly wasn't by the time that he was getting a bullet at United. And then Ollie came in. And we went on an incredible run while he was interim. And we played some of, literally, hands down, the best football. No, in fact, it was. It was the best football we've seen post Sir Alex. He came second and third, got to a couple of cup finals. But there was a section of the fan base that didn't want him because he wasn't Jose Mourinho, who they all adored for some reason. I never quite wrapped my head around that. He was playing youngsters. We had more 5-goal margin wins under Ollie than the rest of all the other managers combined. And the signs for Ollie, again, the only time I called for Jose to go, I think, was the day before he went. I never called for Ollie to go because I didn't want Ollie to go. I could see the things he was trying to do and I wanted him to succeed. Guy's a fucking legend at United. Ten Hag, again, Ten Hag, it was going west, but he'd won something and he'd gone on really quite impressive runs as manager. So when you say it's the earliest I've seen Steve turn, I have turned. And I told you 2-3 weeks ago, I've lost faith in this manager because I'm not seeing us and I'm not seeing him learn. I'm not seeing the progress. Hang on, I'm just going to have to stare at the floor a minute here because I can't see where I'm going. I'm not seeing the progress in the team. I'm not seeing him do things differently. And I think something that's worth experimenting with, exploring, is looking at the fact that Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, Kindalo have been here for several managers now. 4, 5 that have all been seen off. At what point do they share some of the fucking blame here? Some, not all, not me. Is it the quickest I've turned on a manager? Yeah. But also, where's the evidence that it's gonna get better? And that's my entire whole thing with this situation with Amorim. And I'm gonna do a video this week looking at the positive things he's done because I accept there is a cultural reset that has been required at the club. I do. I totally accept that. But at the same time, you have to show progress on the pitch. And that's not what he's doing. So yeah, 1st of November, I think we'll have a new manager. Now whether that's a new permanent, or if Darren Fletcher steps up to be interim for a short period of time, I don't know the answer to that. But I think 1st of November, Ruben Amorim's gone. And it brings me no joy whatsoever. But I think that's the case. Anyway, let's try and stack some wins. It's cold. My hand's cold holding this. I'm on with Rio. It's early shoot today. Normally it's 10. I get to the office to do it. I can't do it because of the school run, so I've got to do it from home today. I'm on with Rio and I'm into the office. I'm trying to record, if I can get them written. Shit, man. I think about 6 videos today. It's going to be a busy one. But today in the gym, I did tweak my hamstring on Friday, and physio said take a couple of days off running. So obviously I didn't do that, and I ran probably about 4k yesterday. I got a little bit of tightness in my hammy, but I'm only jogging on a treadmill. So what I've done is, instead of running at like 9-10 mile an hour, I'm running at like 6. So I'm going to do 5k, and then I actually don't know whether it's leg day today. I don't know if you can do leg day with a busted hamstring. I'm gonna go light, start light, warm up, and see how it feels. I think not long to go to my high rocks. It's 3 weeks, 2 days. So I got to run. I have to be able to run. It's a fucking running event. I got to be able to run in the middle of it, right? So I got to fucking run. Anyways, take it easy. Stack your wins. Write your shit down. Mark it off. And if you want to support the channel, there's some content dropped over the weekend. The hot debrief. It's going down quite well, actually, with myself and Amy. But also there's a vlog there from me and Janine in Dublin at the Oasis gig, which has just dropped. So if you want to support the channel, get some extra content, and get involved in the Telegram group, which is popping off. People have been getting after it this weekend. Good to see. Then there's a link for that in the description. Otherwise, take it easy. Say good morning. See you in a bit.